Hey, welcome to the Huntsville Hustle podcast. We share stories from the small businesses that are backbones of Rocket City out here. I'm excited about this episode because I actually know this dude, and I've known him for a long time. He is Michael J. Cox, owner of Petz Pack, your dog's home away from home. Mikey, what's going on, man?
Pretty good, dude. Michael A. Cox.
I know. I just threw the Michael J in there just to mess. Yeah, well, Michael J. Fox was big back in the day. So take us back to let's go back to day one, man. What sparked the idea for you guys to start this business?
Man, I'm looking at her on the floor right now. We're coming back from our niece's wedding, and we were coming through Corinth, Mississippi. This was over a decade ago, and my wife had the flu, and we saw this little cardboard sign on the side of the road, and she goes, "If you stop and let me pet those puppies, I'll feel better." Cleft, the magic of puppies. And so we stopped, went in, this little bitty dog, put her little hand up against the chicken wire, and I went, man, that's cute. And I picked this thing up, and she was no bigger than my hand. And brought her home with us, and we already had a vacation booked, and it was non-refundable. And this is back in our 20s, and so we barely had 2 nickels to rub together. And so we went on the trip, and we came back, and we swear the dog was different. And we were sitting out back, and my wife goes, "You remember I told you when I was a kid, would watch dogs, like people would bring their dogs to me instead of them taking them to kennels?" And yeah, it was pretty cool. And so over that weekend, we sat out back and formulated this plan for Petz Pack. And I was a business owner already, and so I kind of knew the ins and outs of how to get them going and how to get them started. She's a software engineer, so she took the web thing and just ran with it. And it was just a very good marriage physically between my wife and I, but also for a business. It just matched up perfectly. And a few years into it, we made the decision, we either got to stop this business right now because it was becoming more than a side business, a side hustle, but it just grew. And so I made the decision to step back from, I was a sales consultant with 84 Lumber, and I decided, you know what? Let's give this thing a full send. And the crazy part was we got back and we kind of got a plan going, got a marketing scheme for social media, and started reaching out through social media. And you were one of the first people that I reached out to that reached out back. And I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? And then you and I met, and the rest is history. I mean, we started. So the key to success is find Joe Martin and tag along with him, and he'll eventually get your business going.
That's it. I mean, that's one page plan, right? That's all you need. I'm gonna write your life story from lumber to Labradors. It's the Michael J. Cox story. So old school clients of yours remember the first name. You talked about how this thing kept growing and growing. Yeah, it grew, but it got you a little unwanted attention. Tell us about the first name and why it had to change.
So we wanted to, let's see how we word this so I don't get any letters from Georgia. So we initially sat outside. One of my things is I'm really good at puns. Just people call me punny all the time. It's pretty funny. But we were sitting out back and we were talking about stuff. I said, well, what do you think of when you think of elegance? I'm going to go away for the weekend and I want it to be and you were going to take Jessica somewhere. And you were like, hey, it's going to be the perfect weekend. The fanciest place I can think of. What hotel comes to mind?
Well, they tore down the King's Inn down here. That's where I used to take them.
The King's Inn's gone? No way. It's a staple of South Huntsville, man. I was always wanting to catch hepatitis, and I had never been there.
You should go, man. It's nice. But if I was actually going to go somewhere, I had some money, I would go to the Ritz-Carlton.
That's what we thought too. And so we just changed the first word of that around to pets. And that's what we ran with. And it was, you want to talk genius marketing? Oh my goodness. And that it lit like a wildfire. The logo was popping. The name was popping. Everybody, it was just, Huntsville really kind of just opened their arms to this business concept and just hugged us really, really tight. And then we got a letter in the mail from an attorney's office out of Georgia saying, hey man, we represent this really, really nice, fancy hotel service. And your name is really, really close to our name. We're going to need you to change it. And I went, yeah, right. Do you not realize who you're talking to? From Madison, Alabama. All right. You're not going to talk to me that way. And then I realized that they could talk to me that way, could talk to me however they wanted to. And I would have to comply. And so we said, yeah, completely robbed the name and all that stuff. And so we changed the name to Petz Pack. It was the closest thing that we could get to that we could all agree on. Both sides of the party could agree on, and that's what we went with. I have quite the pizzazz of the first name, but the second name, it works. You know, it's quick, it rolls off the tongue. All the URLs were available, domain names and all that,
That's
and the
important.
email addresses. So, hey, you know what? Just kind of worked out.
There you go. I mean, and it comes without a lawsuit. That's kind of the number one benefit of that. No lawsuits, probably the best.
No lawsuits. We've been very lucky as well. We stay in our lane. We're very open and honest with people when they drop their doggies off with us. And we just do what we say. We try to do what we say we're going to do every single solitary.
Kind of on a related note right there, people's pets are their babies. So they get super anxious letting anyone else watch them. How do you ease that anxiety and gain their trust?
Well, again, it's just being 100% transparent. Managing expectations of your clients in any type of business is a key factor to any kind of success. If you let them know, hey, I don't send pictures every single day unless you ask for them, because I've gotten in trouble as a business owner for sending pictures of people's pets to them while they travel overseas, and it's cost them a pretty penny, and they've gotten very mad at me. So we just adjust. We adjust the wind and the sails, and we say, okay, well, we will, upon request, we'll do this. We're going to stick to your schedule. We're going to stick to your routine. Dogs, we found out of the past over decade in this business, they are creatures of habit. If you notice, or if you don't, get a camera. They're like $10 a piece now. I think people give them away. Stick one in your house and monitor when you show up. If you show up at the same time every day before you get home, your dog will alert. Your dog will go and be waiting on you at the door. It's just everybody knows that. And so by sticking to their natural habits, Fluffy gets fed at 8 o'clock in the morning and 6:30 at night, and likes to go out at 5 p.m., likes to have a bone at 3 p.m. Man, you stick to those normal routines, and you have a changed dog. You have a dog that's full of anxiety and apprehension, and it's growling, and it's kind of, or not growling, it's kind of sticking to itself. It'll start, its natural clock will start going, hey man, this is the same time I got a bone. This is the same time I'm going to bed. This is the same time I'm going out. And man, they just kind of relax. And get into it, speak their language, learn their language, and the rest just kind of falls into place.
Or you can just let them go sit in a crate for 23 hours a day. Either way, whatever. And you're wondering why your dog's hair's falling out, they're all acting all wild.
Yeah. So I actually worked at a veterinarian's hospital in high school. I won't say the name or anything like that because they're very reputable. But that's just how the business was. When you travel, you take your dog to your vet. Your vet takes the dog and sticks it in a kennel and looks at you and says, I promise that when you get back, this thing will be alive. And they hand you your dog back, and it's breathing, and it's live, but it literally has survived Guantanamo Bay for dogs because it's loud. We had to wear headphones when we went into the kennel area because it was so loud. The dogs weren't wearing headphones, and they can hear a lot better than we can. It was rough. And I was telling my wife about that situation, and she said, man, we need to stop this because it's reversible, but it's still doing damage. I mean, you wouldn't want to send your child away and go, it's going to be rough. He's going to come back with permanent scarring, but, it'll be better for him. It'll wear off eventually. But that's not how we want to do that with puppy dogs. We want them to be happy and healthy all the time because, when they're not, then, you create bad habits of dogs doing this stuff. And we don't like that.
So let's take us through like a typical 24 hours in the Petz Pack operation so we can kind of get a behind-the-scenes look at how you guys do things. What does that kind of look like the day-to-day?
Yeah, well, we work our schedule. We try to maintain a schedule like a normal home would. So we open to the public for drop-offs only, drop-offs, pickups by appointment from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That gives us enough time to kind of get up, get doggies out. That's how your morning starts. First thing, you crack your eyes open just a little bit. There's no coffee. There's no stretching. You sit up in bed and you get attacked by whatever dog you let crash with you that night, and they're jumping all over you, and get them outside to use the restroom. Because if not, you're cleaning that pee. And so you get them outside, and then breakfast time, because typically we start drop-offs about 8. Everybody eats. All dogs are separated while they eat too. After they're done, they immediately go back outside for playtime. And we try to give them breaks. If we have a lot of high-energy dogs, like I have a high-energy dog. Her name's Frankie. She's looking at me right now. And but Frankie is super high energy. Is like we always say she's the happiest dog you'll ever meet, and she's very friendly too. So it's wild when you see a dog that's like super nice, and you just don't ever really see that. But she'll come up and she'll talk to the doggies, and she gets them outside, and she'll get them running and playing. But they need a break. Doggies have to. They get overexerted. Does anybody have kids? I have kids. Has your kid ever cried? My kid cries. Still cries. Yours does probably too right about now.
I'm a 48-year-old kid, and I cry all the time.
Yeah, really. And because you can get overstimulated, overexerted, you can get too tired, and then you just don't know why, but you're just in a bad mood. That's your child, and that's the same way with dogs. Everything was fine until it wasn't. Well, you got to anticipate it, and so you anticipate their behaviors. That's why we learn the body languages. We read the books, we do the research, we do the videos, we share them. We have an entire portal on Petz Pack's website that's locked from the public view, but our hosts get to see it. And it's just full of information like this, how you prevent dogs from being mean to each other. And that's kind of how we built our little business model. And a tired dog's a happy dog. So when your dog comes here, we're going. We're going. We don't have time to sit still. We don't have time. I mean, we do have nap time. Nap time's a must every single day, 7 days a week. Other than that, we're stimulating minds. We're trying to get things. We're going for peaceful coexistence through, running and playing, things like that. But yeah, a typical day is really just focused on it's dog heavy. But most of the other hosts, this is what they do full time. This is their gig. I have to break my day up some, because I have to answer the phone. Do things like this every now and again, answer emails. But my guys are a little more tamed. I keep the quiet ones, as you can hear right now.
Yeah, as you can hear, that's a big part right there. So yeah. I think every business owner has this moment where they're like, forget it, I'm going back, getting a regular job. Was there ever that moment for you and Melissa?
Last night, you mean? Yeah, we have it. It's pretty much every morning after we have a dog that cries. So we have a saying within Petz Pack. We have two. The first one's the most important. Complacency is the enemy. Actually, we have three now because I added one. Complacency is the enemy. Persistence always trumps preparation. All dogs cry the first night. So when you get a dog, and it's the first night they're here, they're going to cry. And so in the morning, when you wake up and you look at your spouse and your eyes are red and you're just over it, you just go, maybe I should just, sell lemonade at a lemonade stand, make it a quarter at a time, and just the dog thing just isn't working out. That's typically it. The other one is persistence trumps preparation. No matter how much you prepare your home for a dog not to be able to mess something up or tear something up, they're persistent. And, it doesn't matter how thick your walls are. If you've got a guy that's got a little spoon or sharp little nails here, they're going to claw at it and they're going to get through it eventually. And so that's pretty much the times where you just want to throw in the towel. But they're just puppies. They're just puppy dogs. They're awesome little critters that they need guidance and things like that. And the bottom line is, if you're there, if you're participating with the dog and what they're doing, they're not going to tear your stuff up. If you're there with them and you're petting them, they're not going to keep you up all night. They may give a little whine every now and again, but they do a lot of times cry all night, first night. And so the next morning it's got you ripping what's left of your hair out.
Yeah, well, I'd be in trouble. That would be a quick rip out for me.
Yeah, me too.
So what was that point when you were like, hey man, we can scale this to multiple locations, and how did you go about that?
That was my wife. That was Melissa. I was still running around doing my own thing, my own little gig that I was before Petz Packing. And she just got a little overwhelmed because she did not want to tell people no. The first few clients that she got, she would go up to the dog fairs and stuff like that. And a lot of the things that we have in our training right now that we don't do is the exact stuff that we did in the beginning when we tried to market. And so that's what we were doing. So we were going handing out business cards, sweaty little folded up business cards to people, and begging for just please go to our website, please go to the website. You'll understand. Well, once one person tells another person, and by the time you get a second or maybe just your third referral, then you're overwhelmed. So she was immediately, after starting this business, immediately overwhelmed. And so she had to start telling people no because it got unmanageable at our home. And so when she starts telling people no, she immediately says, what if I could find someone else to help with? And we said, okay, well, who do we know that is insane, that's super nice, and that the dogs love? And we found someone that we actually still are friends with to this very day. And that was our first location. Then we got one in South Huntsville, and those two people were crazy. You know both of them, honestly. And so, and so those two people were like, man, this is the greatest thing in the world. I'm quitting my job. I'm going to do this full time. Melissa's going, no, don't do that. It's too much pressure on me. Please don't. And they're like, no, that's what's happening. And so they quit their jobs and came on full time with Petz Pack. And then we got another location and then another one. And they all, and every location was modeled the exact same. And so that is where kind of the secret to our little bit of success has been, is that our clients know exactly what to expect no matter what location they go to, even though you're going to some smelly hippie's house to drop your dog off here, and then you're going to, this super fancy person with wearing a dress, and got her hair done perfectly. But the people look different, but the steps and the process are the same. The way we answer emails, the way that we answer phone calls, text messages, the way we receive dogs out front, the way we bring them in, introduce them to the rest of the pack, it's all the same. And it's a very, very good, repeatable model. And if you want to know it, go to petzpack.com and apply, because we're always looking for hosts.
Yeah. Are you crazy? Are you nice? Do you have a fence? It's pretty much three things.
Pretty much it. I even carry around business cards with me that I haven't showed you these, and I need to show them to you because I think you'll think they're hilarious too. But it's just like, and the card says, "Are you insane? Do you hate your house? Do you hate having a nice smelling home? Do you just all this little things that just the little bitty things that could drive you nuts if you have that type of personality that goes, and I just can't do it. But if you're just like one of those dudes that looks and you got a golden doodle that just stole your prized blanket off the back of your couch and is playing chase with you, that's hilarious. Don't care who you are, that's funny, and you got to chase them down. And so if that stuff like that is hilarious to you and you want to do more of it, call us. If it drives you insane, just bring your dog to us.
There you go. You can go either way. Either you watch them or we'll take care of you. So let's educate some people, Mikey. So you guys are great about education, dog owners, dog hosts, all that good stuff. But tell us 3 tips that every dog owner should know, but they probably either they don't know it or they don't kind of apply it to their lives.
Well, I got a good one for you. Many moons ago, we did a coloring book because we learned of this crazy statistic from a mutual friend of ours in the insurance business. And he said that 80%, that's 80% of homeowner insurance claims are dog bites. And I went, whoa, really? I went, that is insane. He goes, well, here's the craziest part. Typically, it's by the family's pet. And you go, oh, snap. You start talking to your buddies, your friends, and stuff like this, and you go, oh, yeah, so I got bit by my family dog. I got bit by my family dog. Where'd you get bit? Always the face. Always the face. So one of the best things I can say, if you want to keep your kids pretty, is we used it here. We would yell the word face. Face! Because if you don't put your face near the dangerous part of a dog, then they can't bite you. I know that doesn't leave many places to put your face on a dog, but maybe we shouldn't be putting our faces on dogs. I'm not telling you not to snuggle your animal. Don't say that. But when it comes to a child, yeah, you could tell your child, get your face out of the dog's face, because that will help so many kids grow up, because the child doesn't know the proper body language. You think that because two living things grew up together that they're going to be perfectly fine all the time. Well, the God's honest truth is that dogs don't live most of the time don't live their entire lives without getting into some kind of confrontation. How does a dog solve a confrontation? With their teeth. So we're smarter than that. We have thumbs and stuff too. And so we can say the word face, get your face out of the dog's face. And that has been a massive help. If you'd like to get a digital copy of that book, I think we still have some available. And we give them away. Just give them away. Because I think that is a big, big, big important issue with children and properly introducing themselves to dogs. I
Man,
see
I
it all
forgot
the
that
time.
stat. I forgot how many. I mean, I knew it was high, but I forgot it was 80%. Man, that's
It's
just crazy.
insane, man. It's insane. And I don't know the statistic nowadays because I think that was probably an 8-year-old statistic. Golly, but maybe even older than that. But yeah, it was such a staggering statistic that it made us take action. We went around to anybody that would listen to us. We went around, and I had a big old dog at the time, and she was super intimidating, especially the kids. And we would teach them the proper way to introduce themselves and the proper way to handle a dog. And it was hopefully life changing. We had a lot of positive experience come out of it from parents coming up and thanking us for what we were doing. And we couldn't have done it without the sponsors that paid for the book. We printed, I think, 500 copies, I think, and passed every single one of them out. And that was really cool, seeing the community come together and pay for something like that. We had a local artist do the drawings and stuff too, which you know him too.
Yeah,
Nathan
yeah.
Payne.
I got mine somewhere, man. I'll have to dig it out. I got it
Yeah.
some. It's
You got a good one too.
fun color too, man. I got to color outside them lines sometimes.
Yep.
So I got to get on that. So yeah, that's it, man. That's if you got a kid, if you got a dog, you need that tip right there. So that's a great one right there. So
just don't let your kid put their face in the dog's face. That's it.
and then how fun is it to just go around screaming face all the time? I mean, that's good times anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I like screaming face anyway. But that's my biggest thing. Whenever someone has an insult, you go face.
I mean, that's old school right there. So I want to kind of switch it up a little bit. So let's say you're doing an intake call or a meet and greet. What's kind of some red flags or signals that, hey, this owner or maybe the dog is not a good fit for your pack?
A lot of times it's the owner. Most of the times we don't fire dogs. We fire owners. And the biggest reason we fire owners is because they waste our time. Our time is extraordinarily precious because we have to schedule things down to a grocery store trip. And if someone comes in 40 minutes late, doesn't let you know, stuff like that, then that could be an issue for scheduling. Scheduling is key because we put all dogs away before we have an appointment. So we're spending an hour before that appointment time, and we're getting dogs tired. We're doing things, then situated, and then we put them away about 10 minutes before appointment time. If you show up late, all you're doing is hurting other dogs, and so we don't really like that. As far as a dog goes, the biggest thing we look for is aggression. So we screen for aggression, and we try to put dogs in a situation that make them want to be aggressive naturally. That's just for us. We just kind of want key moments. So our meet and greet typically takes about 30 minutes. We are probably analyzing about 30 seconds of dog because we're looking at every single twitch. We're looking at their shoulder blades. We're looking at their back hips, watching their mouths, looking at their eyes, because you can see those things from a long way away. Rescue dogs, those are the biggest things that you have to watch out for because people do not know where they came from. I've never heard of a rescue dog that didn't have like some amazing story. This dog was an astronaut for 6 months, left on Jupiter, and then they salvaged him and came back. Amazing dog. You hear all these just crazy outlandish stories, but the truth is you have no idea where this dog came from because people make stuff up. That's unfortunate. But watching those key signs, it's canine body language is nearly universal. Nearly universal. Canines have a little more intellect than most mammals out there, but you can still see the same body language in freaking cows, deer. You can see it all over the place. And so we are experts in this field. So we're going to try to pick up these small tendencies, and then we're going to tell you at the end of the meet and greet. We're not going to be a can kicker. We're not pushing any responsibilities off on anyone else. We're just going to straight up look at you and say, unfortunately, I don't think your dog's a good fit. Now, I'm not just going to kick you out after that. I'm going to give you a couple of names of people that can help. The reason that I'm not letting a dog like that come into Petz Pack is because the potential for disaster. The disastrous portion would be if that dog comes in, the client's out of town. Oh my goodness, what do you do with it if it comes in and it's a maniac in it? Because dogs can be crazy too. I've heard a lot of trainers say there's no such thing as a bad dog. Buddy, I've been doing this a long time. I'm not a trainer. And I can tell you with 100% certainty, there are jerk dogs out there. My dog used to be a jerk to me Frankie used to bite me in the right cheek, my right butt cheek. Every time I got up and ran and walked through the house, she would come up and just goose me right on the butt cheek. And she doesn't do it anymore. I mean, that's just kind of a jerky thing to do. You have different kind of animals that behave differently, just like people.
Yeah.
Some people get along, some folks don't.
That's it. Man, your old quarterback skills, reading the defense, coming in handy. How about that?
It did, man. Especially whenever we're playing out back. And you're playing top, like, because we have dogs that play, they don't want to play fetch. They want to play catch. And those dogs are my favorites, man. Typically, it's the Saffies, the Pit Bulls, or something like that. You hold a ball up, and they just take off running. And then you go, you whistle at them, and they'll break right or something, and you peg them in the mouth, and that pop, that was so much fun. That was so much fun doing this job. It's insane.
Yeah, that's fun right there. That's not work. That's fun right there. So I know you guys are always working on some things. So what's next for Petz Pack?
Man, next for Petz Pack, I think we're probably going to do another website. Next thing coming up is a more user-friendly for a host and for a client. We're going to try to add a paywall as well. So just try to make it even easier for the clients coming in. They can just prepay for their stays and all that. Right now, we pay on pickups. But we're kind of preparing for more of a national thing. So we could try to move around from different places just from Huntsville. That's the next decision we're going to make. Or we just say, let's focus here in Huntsville and just make Petz Pack the best local Huntsville pet boarding place in the country, in the city, and let other people come to us and let them model instead of spreading us too thin, moving around the Southeast right now. Because I think that the hands-on approach is probably the best. You know how it is. You know, you get your group, you get your people, and you're good there. And if you start spreading out your people, your core people, they start going, well, where's Joe? Well, I don't see Joe very often anymore. And then you come back like, hey, Joe. Well, we like our people, you know, so we want to kind of stick around a little bit longer. And not sure if we want to go the national route yet.
So what I'm hearing you say is you should marry a software engineer is what you should do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very helpful that's a business tip for you guys and girls out there. Marry a software. If you need a website.
Yeah. Nowadays we have Chat GPT. So your boy here I'm dabbling with creating a website for something else right now. And I'm trying to do it. And I think I'm actually making progress on it. I mean, it's like trying to teach a monkey how to build a transmission, but I mean, that's straight up. I mean, people literally go to school for this stuff. My wife did. And she goes, it's harder than it looks, didn't it? I mean, I thought you just did stuff like that.
Magic. So, man, speaking of the interwebs, how do people find you on the interwebs? How do they work with you? All that good stuff.
So the best thing is petzpack.com. PETZPACK, just like a pack of dogs. Petzpack.com. There, we really, really spent the time and the effort in making this as an information and gathering website as possible. And so you go there. My thing is you can grab that phone number off there and give me a call. That phone number, after 10 years in service, still rings this exact phone that I'm on right now. That is another key thing, is that you get us. You get the tip of the spear with the local business aspect of it. So we're always here, petzpack.com. The information on there is invaluable. So go read everything. Make sure you do your research as far as your host goes. There's a list of hosts on there. Their accreditations through Petz Pack are on there as well. So we're very transparent when it comes to that too. Proximity may not be the best fit for you. So if you have somebody that lives in your neighborhood, but their dog doesn't vibe with your dog, then go travel 15 minutes down the street and get you a different one. We have advertised locations as well as unadvertised, because we have people that have been doing this so long that they don't need new clients, but they can take somebody in a pinch. And so we say, get in there, get a meet and greet done now. So later down the road, you're not stuck. You're not in a pickle, because the one thing I can tell people that really disappoints them about Petz Pack is if we do not take same-day drop-offs. We just won't do it, and it's because we have to ensure compatibility. Can't do that same day. If your dog shows up with fleas or ticks or any signs of canine influenza, we'll reject you at the street. And we do not have the facility or the means to take a dog like that and quarantine them, and that has the potential to infect hundreds of dogs, hundreds, if something like that slips past us. And so we check dogs at the street. Make sure that once all that's done, that before you load up and head to one of your locations, just give your dog a once over. And I don't think we've been doing this 11 years. I have never in 11 years had to turn a dog away at the street. I can't speak for everybody, but I don't think we have. But I know personally I've never had to do it because I guess Petz Pack kind of attracts fun people. I mean, when you have kind of when you have a fun environment and things like, this job is hard to take serious. Let's just be frank.
I mean, that's it. I mean, they say your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So you got some goofy people like yourself. That's good.
Goofy
Man.
people.
Dogs are fun, man. Dogs are just a fun breed anyway, man. That's
they are.
Good time. Man, that's an all-star right there.
Yeah, she's my bud. She was actually given to us by a client. They said that she was just a little too wild of a child for him, and you're going to take over, aren't you? Wild child, and she came in here, and I said, I don't need another dog. I sure did.
Yeah, that's meant to be. So, man, before I let you go, we're going to hit you with some of these rapid-fire questions. Just short, quick answers. Are you prepared for this?
No.
Frankie, are you ready? She's ready. All right. Have you ever sampled a gourmet dog biscuit?
Yes.
And how good was it?
Tastes like dry peanut butter, homie. I mean, it was pretty good.
I'm just over here acting like I hadn't eaten one too, so I'm over here just acting like it's, peanut butter. I'm all in. You know that.
I think it's good.
So, if you were matched with a dog that perfectly channels your personality, which breed would it be, and is it sitting with you right now?
Sitting with me right now. It'd be a golden doodle. I mean, I have heard so many things about people's perspectives of these animals, these puppies, and it's just they're all different. I have a unique experience with mine. She's awesome. She's my ride or die. She goes with me everywhere now. You just heard her fussing at somebody outside. She's just hilarious, but she does get her feelings hurt easily, and she's funny. She's a funny creature. And so yeah, I'd definitely be a golden doodle.
That's it. All right. If dogs could sing, what should they do? I guess. Which of the pup in your pack would be on American Idol, and what song are they singing?
Let's see. I just sent home Teddy. Teddy's a talker, and that's probably one of the funniest things that we have here is when you have Teddy's a doodle as well, and he's a talker, and so he just roofs at you. I mean, you're sitting there eating dinner, and he just you. It was the don't you forget about me. That's Teddy right there. He's like, go, bro, I'm right here.
Teddy would be a star.
Yo.
I'd rather listen to Teddy than a lot of American Idol that I've seen. But
yeah, man.
So if you're granted one dog-related superpower for 24 hours, it could be instant fur drying, it could be bark silencing, mind-reading collars. What are you choosing? Something outside the box? It could be any of those.
So if I had the power to control a dog, like
just dog-related superpower, anything dog-related.
And that speed's pretty nice.
Man, that would be amazing, right?
Speed's pretty good. I mean, that speed would equate to millions of dollars somewhere in the NFL. No, I mean, if I had the ability to control a dog, it would be to stop them from barking. That would be it. If I could say, hey, guys, hush. And they all just go, sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely, Mikey.
That's fine. That would be the one. That'd be the one. Hey, guys, let me evaluate, and then we can all decide if we want to bark at this together. It'd be perfect. Because now, I mean, we always kind of chuckle because if you got a dog barking, and they're and you go in there and you're like, shut up. All you're doing is barking with the dog, and the dog's like, that's what we're doing, homie? Yeah. And they start barking more, and you start yelling more, and it's just
thanks for joining in. It's like, yeah, Mike's supporting us. Thanks.
Let's go.
All right, one final question. So if Petz Pack had to nominate one of its residents as the official Instagram star, who gets a nod on that one?
Man, I got to do a tip of the hat to the fallen, but not forgotten. That'd be Kaya. Kaya Cox was one of the most influential things that ever happened to Petz Pack, and I can't believe I didn't mention her name until now, but she was my old dog. She passed away a little bit ago. She was an Irish Wolfhound, and she was extremely photogenic, and that dog was a model for many things. Wow, now that I think about it, numerous things. We took so many photos of her, and she just was kind of that face. Everybody wanted to meet her. She was an awesome dog. She was very quiet, very mild-mannered. She took a giant deuce in the middle of the St. Patrick's Day parade once, though. That was unforgettable.
Legendary. Right there.
I think that was the introduction to Huntsville. The first big one we did with Petz Pack is we did a big walk with Petz Pack, and we used the Irish Wolfhound. and she took a massive slam
No doubt.
right in the middle of the parade.
It's like walking elephants right down Main Street. Yeah,
We
man,
always say
she's
with
a
ours
legend.
full-time around here.
Mike took her to a business meeting at one time, and she performed at a business meeting, so she was a legend. All right,
She would also go with us to all of when we did presentations for the coloring book. She was the model, one of the models. The other one's right here. Here's the other model that we used.
The tiny one, I had the large one and the tiny one.
Yep. So I had Lily still kicking around, and but Kai unfortunately has passed on. She's the boss.
Oh, for sure, man. Absolute legend of a dog, man. So cool. Mikey, thanks so much for coming on here, giving us some updates on the Petz Pack fam and all that's going on with you guys. It's been awesome catching up. Thank you guys for listening. Hey, please share this episode. Somebody needs to know about the pack that doesn't already know about it. They need to get their dog over there. Maybe they need to become a host. Either way, get in touch with Mike and Melissa. Man, they're awesome people. If nothing else, they will help you out regardless of what you're looking for. So appreciate y'all listening. We'll see you guys next week on the Huntsville Hustle podcast.